terms, not sure what they mean. New or used car, use TrueCar.com. Save $3,000 off MSRP. It'll show you what cars that you're going to see are actually worth. Christine Leahy joining me. I do find the whole thing that, like people are always saying, like I never bought into this, Obama's smug. I'm like, you can find a piece of audio tape that makes anybody sound cocky. Trump tends to be very over the top and cocky and braggadocious. You can find a piece of tape that makes anybody in a bad light. Tom Brady's yelling at somebody. He's a jerk. But here's classic Tom Brady after the game. Was offered an opportunity, could have rubbed salt in the Jags, and here's what he said.
I think it sounds kind of arrogant to say, oh, yeah, it bothered me when we had a pretty good game, so I wouldn't say that.
Tom, can you take us through the 3rd and 18 throw to Danny?
Doesn't that sound arrogant if I said that? It's like when Tiger Woods said like that was my C game and he won the tournament.
Yeah, he could have piled on. It's so funny when you watch New England. They keep winning the same way, and every time they win, the same loser fan bases blame the officials and say it's rigged. Like, do you want to be a loser your whole life? Like, is that the two calls in this game that everybody are worked up over are just dumb. First of all, Chris Carter's a Hall of Fame receiver. Let's go look at the pass interference down the sideline late in the first half. People think this decided the game. A pass interference call late in the first half down the sideline. People are like, that decided the game. In what world would that not be a pass interference? I mean, Chris Carter's a Hall of Fame receiver. He's not a Patriot guy. Here's what he thought of it.
The second pass interference was obviously pass interference, the one on Jalen Ramsey. The first one on A.J. Bouye, to me it looked like perfect coverage.
It's not perfect coverage, Nick. When you put your right hand on a guy 30 yards down the field, and Brandon Cooks went out of bounds. When he goes out of bounds, you know what the referee calls? The advantage went to the defender. Watch his right arm right here. You see that right there? You cannot put your right arm on a guy when your left arm is on his back. It's out of the chuck zone. You can run with him and tap his arm, but you can't make him force him out.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, this is something that I know.
No, I wasn't. Absolutely.
When both players are running down the sideline and the offensive player goes out of bounds, okay, and the ref is right there 5 yards in front of him, watch his right arm. He gained an advantage when his right arm went on him. That's what made him go out of bounds. He had to call it.
I mean, you're going to tell me that this is the play? You think it's rigged? That's the play. Of course it's pass interference. You know what really makes great? And I said this about Alabama. When Alabama won the national championship, we came out, if you remember this, Christine, and we listed 8 things that went wrong. And Alabama overcame like 8 different things. Yesterday, 8 things didn't go New England's way. Number 1, they lost a Hall of Fame tight end. Remember the Alabama stuff? The game was in Atlanta, a road game. They fell behind 13-0. They missed 2 field goals. They had a review on an 80-yard touchdown go against them. They had a 16-yard horrible sack loss in overtime. They had a player collapse on the sideline, a player getting a fight in the sideline, and their left tackle, a Pro Bowl level eventual player, like their best offensive lineman, got injured. New England yesterday, similarly, had 8 things go against them. And Gronk's out. They had no running game. Brady had stitches in his hand. Both coordinators are interviewing for jobs this week. They had a late turnover by Dion Lewis. They had the ball 10 fewer minutes. They had a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit, meaning Jacksonville knew they had to throw, and weather was a non-factor. Like one of the reasons they love getting home field advantage is you got to come up to Foxborough and it's 9 degrees. Yesterday it was like 45 degrees and sunny. And they also could have had a late game. It was the early game on a beautiful day on Sunday. Weather was a non-factor for a Florida team. It could have been a huge factor. I mean, they had a lot of things not go their way. Jacksonville had one thing that they think didn't go their way. It's that Miles Jack play. This is the one thing Jacksonville's all worked up about. That Dion Lewis fumbled, and everybody's like, whoa, what? This is first of all, it's a trick play that worked. You can't convince me that Dion Lewis ever lost possession of the football. Something there about when his knee hits the ground, boom, he's still got the ball, at least cradled against him. So, that's a 50-50 at best call. I mean, I was sitting there with a buddy, and we're like, I don't know, do you call that a fumble? And you're outraged because they didn't take it all the way back. You got the ball there. You went 3 and out and blew it. Like Minnesota, you had a moment. You blew it. Minnesota's not going to be 13-3 next year. They're going to pull way back. They'll be a 9-17. They don't even have a quarterback. Their schedule is brutal. Aaron Rodgers returns. Carson Wentz returns. Minnesota's not getting to the NFC Championship next year. Jacksonville's pulling way back next year. A lot of people are like, oh, this is the beginning. No, it's not. You don't have a quarterback. And Andrew Luck comes back in your division. Deshaun Watson comes back in your division. And Marcus Mariota gets a former Chip Kelly assistant running Tennessee's offense. So you'll have the fourth best quarterback by a mile in that division. So I don't buy. Like Jacksonville, this is the thing that didn't go your way. You couldn't overcome that. New England overcomes Gronk. You couldn't overcome that play. That's how big of a loser the franchise is. You couldn't overcome one play, which is a 50-50 play. Literally, Danny Amendola, the third best slot receiver for New England, carved you up. That's pathetic. Danny Amendola, I'm not sure he can outrun our camera operators. He carved up your secondary.
Now, why do you have to say that about Danny Amendola?
And nothing again. Here's the greatest touchdown I've ever seen by Tom Brady. Here it is.
Brady under center, 2nd and goal. Ooh. Fake it to White. Looking around, has time, throws it. Did he get the feet down? What an effort! Touchdown, Amendola. Tom Brady does it again.
God, Danny Amendola carved you up. Edelman's their best slot. Hogan, I think, is their second. Danny played his best football game ever. God. And you're whining about a fumble call? Loserville. Losers make excuses. And you know what? I'm glad Minnesota went down. Spend less time memorizing that stupid skull chant. That was awful. Yeah, New England was working on plays. You remember? It's the worst. Guys, New Year's resolution coming off track. Hit a post-holiday wall. This is where M-Drive can help you get off the couch and start the new routine you've been putting off. No games here. This is nutrition science. Clinically tested, safe, effective ingredients. Boost your natural T levels. Increase your energy. You're thinking M-Drive can't help you? They've got the perfect product for you. Beginners, M-Drive Prime. Workout specialists, M-Drive Boost and Burn. M-Drive Workforce, just to sustain energy if you got a rough job. Refine your Prime. Go to buymdrive.com, code HERD. Buymdrive.com, code HERD. That'll get you 25% off. It's also prominently displayed. Walgreens, Vitamin Shop, GNC, got one by my house, Sprouts, Dwayne Reed. Tony Gonzalez stops by tomorrow. The Herd.
Growing up, watching the Daytona 500 was always an event. There's a slogan that they had last year, Daytona Day. It was Daytona Day for my family on the Daytona 500.
I watched the Daytona 500 with family.
It's just such an awesome way to start our NASCAR season.
Introducing McDonald's new $1, $2, $3 menu.
Yeah, I'll have the we haven't been to the grocery store in weeks meal, please.
You said 2 sausage McMuffin with egg and 2 small iced caramel macchiatos for just $10.
Exactly. What's up, fellas? Hey, man.
Oh, where? Build whatever meal you want with favorites on McDonald's new $1, $2, $3 menu.
I can taste it. I can taste it. Taste it.
Mike and I are both veterans, both served in the Navy. I do outrank my husband, not just being in the military, but at home.
She thinks she's the boss. She only had me by 1 grade. We bought our first home together in 2010.
His family had used another insurance product, but I was like, I've had USAA for a while. Why don't we call and check the rates?
It was an instant savings, and I should have changed a long time ago.
There's no point in looking elsewhere, really. We're the Tennies, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
Introducing the new 2018 Ford F-150 with best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, and best-in-class torque. The F-150 lineup has the capability to get big things to big places big time. And things just got bigger. F-150 is now Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
You doing your taxes?
Yeah.
Why are you using TurboTax? Well, H&R Block More Zero lets you file online for free even if you itemize deductions. TurboTax doesn't do that.
Oh, man. H&R Block More Zero lets you file online for free.
Get your taxes one